No,
Hello, everyone. It's the Demo Team Podcast, and we're here with Since Masada. How are y'all
What
doing
up?
today?
doing pretty good.
We're doing pretty good.
How'd it do,
All right. I'm in like our small little, I don't know. So what series we got? We got y'all guys on. So
So what? Are you guys stoked?
what?
I'm very, very excited, but I'm very nervous at the same time.
Yeah, the feelings
That's-
mutual here.
Pretty huge. It's like coming even huger every day. It feels like
Yeah.
I don't even know how they're gonna get this many bands on, but it's super cool, honestly. Like I'm because y'all are from the Dallas area too, so I'm guessing y'all grew up with So What as well. So
Yes and no. So you're kind of from Texas. I'm not from Texas. My family was military, so we always like moved around and shit growing up. I've only been in Texas since I was like 14.
all right.
Oh yeah, like 2015. I've lived here.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was born in McKinney.
Development. So what's so important?
I mean, it's all good because I never went to So What just because I always say I just always had some conflict or something, or like my
Yeah,
parents like,
same.
no, you can't go all the way out to Arlington for a show. We don't want to drive you or some shit.
Yeah, that was kind of the thing for me too. I always
Yeah.
knew what it was though.
Hmm.
I always like saw like the flyers and like the lineups and always thought they were super sick. I remember like
Oh yeah.
seeing like Under Oath like on the lineup, like was it like 2016 or something? Like Under Oath and like Seosin and like that was God.
I guess I didn't really keep up with them after high school, but like I mean, the ones I had like when I was like a freshman and sophomore were like super awesome lineups. But then they kind of, as the scene kind of lost steam for a while, I kind of, like, I mean, I guess they're still good lineups, but I mean, I don't know. I guess
They
people don't
weren't
really keep up with
they
them.
weren't what they were before that.
Yeah.
I remember even Mike was talking. I was watching a podcast where he was talking about it. And he was like, "Yeah, the scene was kind of going through like a transitionary period, and like, if you didn't, it was a state in the scene where like if you didn't have like a certain band on your lineup or something, your tickets weren't going to sell. It wasn't like you could just put like all these bands on a lineup and the tickets were going to sell. You had to have like a certain band on there, and
Yeah.
like now you have all these bands like that are you have like bands like not on like the bigger font on the bill that are like selling out like 2,000 cap rooms, like Knock Loose on there.
Yeah.
Fucking isn't If I Die First playing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I Die First.
Yeah,
is
like
fine.
you have bands like that are like
They just kind of popped up out of nowhere.
yeah, and
I
then,
mean,
like,
almost. I'm gonna say exactly popped up out of nowhere, but it feels like they
feel
kind of does feel like for a lot of people. I think it feels like they popped up out of nowhere. Even
yeah.
like credential and like credence and like the scene to like sell tickets just because like their background.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
So yeah, I think like and like he was saying, and I agree with this too. Like the scene's just a lot healthier now, and even like
Yeah.
their ticket sales are even speaking for it. Like I was telling you earlier before you started the podcast, like I think we were like literally the last band to get on it for day one, and we got like 55 tickets on like May the 3rd, and we're already all out of them. And like even when I whenever I go there and like I was asking like the guys about it, I was like, how are the sales doing? He's like, dude, they're like skyrocketing right now. Like
Well,
I remember
it feels like I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. No, go for
I
it.
was gonna say it feels like this is like the festival. I think, even though like all these other ones popped up, this one was like the first one. Or I mean, I guess Furnace Fest was already a thing, but I feel like this one just has more traction for some
Yeah,
reason.
I think this is probably gonna be the fucking
It's
the
Texas.
best festival, the best, huh?
It's Texas. Everything's bigger in
Yeah.
Texas.
Oh no,
Definitely.
I think this is gonna be the biggest fucking festival of the year, and we're just fucking ecstatic to be able to be a part of it.
So
Biggest not EDM one probably.
So for people that like are not initiated and engaged, you guys are playing which day?
Oh, we're playing day one,
Day
And
one.
Friday.
This is your
That's
this is your
significant.
second show, right?
Yep, it's our second show.
Yes.
It's quite a step up.
Yeah, we went from our first show, which our first show went really well. That was the most people I've ever played to at our first show. It was at the Rail Club, and there's like easily like 150 or 200 fucking people there whenever we were playing. It was a
Yeah, man.
lot.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's crazy, and it's awesome when you can get a room full of people or a crowd in a festival setting, and people are just like, "I'm here for music, and I'm here to jam. I'm here to feel the vibe."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, the 3 songs you have on Spotify right now are like really solid, like, and like just production wise, they're just like, honestly, like, it's
We take a lot of time on them. We definitely put a big piece of ourselves into them. Anyone that wants to know who we work with, so for like recording, and the first 2 singles were produced by Clay Schroeder. He's in a band called Aesop, and also him and his wife Kristen do a solo project called Daedric. So if you're like
Right.
looking to get shit mixed, definitely go to him. He's super good at what he does.
Yeah.
And if you're in the Dallas area, definitely like go like do like songwriting sessions with that dude. That dude is a fucking genius. Like I learned so much from him.
He's very smart.
Yeah. And also, but who we worked with on the last single, we recorded Sincerity with Clay, but we actually got the song mixed by Randy Pasquera. He does like Currents and like Shadow of Intent and like If I Were You. So
Hell
like,
yeah.
so but yeah, so anyone that wants to know who we work with, that's kind of our circle for.
all right.
So we
I
know
mean,
who you work with. So how about you guys? Like usually, like, we and Cash have been doing panel episodes, so they've been a little chaotic, but it's always good to do it as a classic interview. So how about we start from the beginning? Like, how did you guys become like into music, period? Like, what made you decide to like, I'm gonna pick up this instrument and just start like wailing on it?
You can probably go first.
So I started playing drums when I was 15. I don't know. I've always had an interest in like beating on things, like making beats. And my first drum set was given to me by my aunt, and I just picked it up, started playing. Music's always been a part of my life. Like my dad, he used to play a bunch of shows around Dallas, stuff like that. He's played a few festivals. I don't know. I just love playing drums, and I'm glad to be a part of Since Masada.
So okay, for me, I started playing guitar whenever I was like 8, but I wasn't really like learning. I just like kind of like learned how to play like a few like AC/DC riffs and shit, and then kind of put it down. But whenever I was 14, this is what really like kind of like made me like think like this is what I want to do. Whenever I was 14, I went to my first Warped Tour, and after that day, I just came home and I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. Like, you know, like hearing bands like, I think that day it was like Asking Alexandria and like Memphis Mayfire and August Burns Red and like Bless the Fall. Like it
the
was
one I went to.
Yeah. that was a fucking it was life changing. I think that's like what made me want to pursue it, but like also like in high school or like middle school, I got like introduced to bands like Asking Alexandria and like Pierce the Veil and like Sleeping with Sirens and stuff, and like it really struck a chord with me. And I think actually the biggest one at first too is probably like My Chem. I think that one early on was like it spoke to me like on like a personal level.
I think that's the same with our boy Ryan too, right, Ryan?
Hey man, I grew up with that shit, and it's just like, I mean, I would say it got me more into like this line of like music, because that's like, it's not like I wasn't listening to like Atreyu, Bleeding Through, and
Oh
like,
no, that's all our shit too. That's like
yeah,
that's
I
where we kick
listen
love
to
it
that
now.
stuff, but I feel like the way like they behaved about other bands, you see them on Fuse TV, you see them on MTV, like they always stayed like shouting out other bands. They're like, oh, you should check out this, you should listen to this, and like we're on tour with these guys, and it's just like, okay, I'll go check that out, and you go check it out, you're like, wow, this slaps, thanks.
Exactly. And then like that was early on for like my chem. Then like later I got into like I think like the bands that like really pivoted like what kind of style I wanted to like write and make was like I'm wearing your shirt right now. Azalea Dying,
Oh yeah.
Kill Switch Engage, Atreyu, yeah, Under Oath, Unearth. Like a lot of those like second wave like bands.
Yeah. It's crazy because you mentioned If I Die First and you mentioned Under Oath. We had Dallas Taylor and Derek Bloom on the show. So it's just like, I'm like, I love those bands. And then I sit here and I think like, wow, I interviewed like founding members of these. Like, well, I mean, Derek came in the first EP, but he's still an OG.
Yeah.
Either way. It's just cool. And it's cool that like that effect, like just listening to their music created that ambition inside of you. Like it's always cool to see.
Yeah, we used to like we started whenever me and him started playing like together when we were like 16 or 17, like we used to like cover like Under Oath songs and like Devil Wears Prada songs and shit like that.
Dogs can grow beards all over, man.
Yeah, that's true.
But all right, so that's how you guys became like into music.
Yeah.
And like the vibe you got. So what like brought you guys together for Saving Masada? And where does that name?
Masada. Since Masada. Come close, Ryan.
I just had Saving Vice on the show. My bad. I'm literally thinking of another band that got knocked out. I literally just woke up like 20 minutes ago. I apologize.
No, you're okay. I literally got to bed like an hour ago myself. So
yeah,
I think we're all like in that same boat right now.
Yeah, like, and after this, we have to interview Jeremy Talley of the Bled. So I'm juggling a lot today.
Okay. Yeah, that's fucking cool.
But
nice. Is Brandon coming on for that too?
No, Brandon's coming on tomorrow for Kid Bandit.
Yeah, if y'all are fans, y'all could, I guess y'all could stay on if y'all want.
Yeah, I don't know how. I think Jeremy, like he's a stay-at-home dad, and like the Bled's not playing any festivals this year. They played Furnace Fest last year. It's kind of like, you know, James is he's got his own other band. He actually lives in like a whole different. He doesn't even live in Arizona anymore. So it's just one of them things. So, but I mean, if I can light any flame under any band to keep on playing music and like, hey, you know, never know when another Furnace Fest or So What or when we were a Hungry Festival or when we were Young Fest could invite you out. So
yeah, it's true. Demo Fest, right?
Demo Fest.
Oh yeah, that would be sick. I'm totally. Totally on that.
To say my question correctly, so what formed since Masada, and where's that band name come from?
Okay, so the idea of it, like me and him just like playing music and it was, I think the first time we played like together was like January of like 2018, like very beginning of like 2018.
Yeah.
I had a friend working at like Walmart at the time, like before that. Oh, sick. I had a buddy working at Walmart, and like my buddy was like, oh, I know a guy that works with me at Walmart that like listens to like a Mice and Men and like Periphery and like, you know, stuff like that. So I was like, oh, sick. So like that's how I got introduced to him. And like a month later we just started like bullshitting around, like just attempting to like write music. And then like a few months later I was like, well, this is going kind of consistent. Like, let's come up with a name. And like the name Since Masada means literally it's nothing to us. It's just a cool band name. It rolled off the tongue nice. We tried other band names. It was kind of the one that stuck. I think like Masada was like a city in like Jerusalem or some shit. It was like Israel. Yeah, it was like a fortress in like Israel. In the biblical times or some shit. but like it means it doesn't really mean anything. It's just a band name to me.
I mean, that's a pretty hard name, honestly. The more you talk, like it being a fortress, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. But yeah,
like apparently like the history behind it, because like I didn't even really know what the fucking word was. I didn't even like look it up. It just popped up on my autocorrect, and I was like, "Well, that sounds cool. Let's just roll with it." But whenever our front man joined, he joined in like 2019, which, by the way, since Masada was really only a thing for like 5 or 6 months, and like we all just kind of like we weren't really doing anything. I joined another band, so we just kind of like called it off for a minute. But like summer of 2019 is whenever it really started. Like me and Hunter played together like long before that. But whenever our frontman Dylan joined, he was like, "Oh, apparently like Masada is like the history behind it is like, you know, during like the Crusades and shit and like Europe, that like the Jewish population there was being like persecuted, and apparently like they would go back to Masada or something to commit like some sort of like sacrificial suicide or something." I was like, okay. that's a
it's
fucking
heavy as fuck.
I was like, okay, that's fucking wild. But yeah, like to us, the name really doesn't mean anything. It's just a bad name.
Anyone ever like hitting you up and being like, "Oh, I saw your band name," and like, I don't know, because you know it's like biblical or like stuff like that. So there's like that could bring people out of the woodwork, I guess. Or like,
no, we're not. No, we haven't like had anyone like really like dig into it or like ask us if we were like Christian or like a Christian band or anything like that about it. But yeah.
I mean, I think it's a cool name for sure.
Yeah.
Plus, you're making cool music with it, so you know, getting on festivals.
Yeah, that was a fucking. Yeah, we're still processing it. It's our second show. Like it's.
Yeah, that's quite a step up for sure.
Yeah, fucking an astronomical fucking step up. Holy shit! I can't believe it's 10 days away.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
So for that being your like, oh, go ahead, Kev.
Oh, you can go ahead, Ryan. I was just gonna start getting into history, I guess, but
yeah, well, I was gonna ask because it's their second show. Like, do you guys have your third or possibly fourth show planned out, or is it kind of like you're flying by the seat of your pants, kind of just like, whoa, these cool ass opportunities just pop out the sky?
That's how this one came up, because I think we have a show like pretty much all but confirmed in like July, but we got this offer like extremely like last minute. So like we did like all the submission stuff before, and I was like sent like Mike Zimmer and like everyone our music and shit. We weren't really like, we didn't get anything back. So like by the time we did get the offer, I was kind of already like, okay, this obviously isn't happening this year. But I saw Orlando, one of the guys running the festival. He was like, "Oh, we have a few more local spots. Just send your music and like I'll hit you up if like we're interested." So I like posted in like his little Facebook post, and I commented on his Facebook post with a sincerity and like our band name and this and that. And then I was at All That Remains and Miss May I in Dallas. It was actually right when All That Remains was doing like their Halo intro that they were doing for the Fall of Ideals tour that they just did. And I was like checking my phone, and Orlando messaged me. He's like, "Hey, we're interested. How many tickets can y'all sell?" And like I told him.
That's a weird question to ask when you've only played one show, right?
Yeah. But I was like, yeah, of course I lied.
You're just like,
I was like,
as many as you need.
Yeah, I was like, that was my question, because he was like, "How many can you sell?" And I gave him the right answer. I was like, "How many do you want us to sell?" But you know, they're discounted tickets. They're not making us sell these shits at like full price or anything. So
it's because you're local, which that's the key. Hit up the local Texas bands.
Yeah, exactly.
For tickets before Friday, right?
We'll be able to sell them before
next Wednesday.
Yeah, until next Wednesday we'll have them.
But they're making the prices go up. Are they making your prices go up for local stuff? Or?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, And also we don't have to charge like taxes and fees or any of that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got the offer super last minute, and like we weren't expecting to play a show at all. So like literally, like I got the offer that Thursday at like All It Remains, and then me and Hunter started practicing that fucking Sunday. And then we've been like drilling these fucking songs like ever since. So
because we haven't played a show since last October.
yeah.
And I mean, I guess at that point, you all only have one song out, so it's like kind of.
Yeah, it was just mostly Misery at the time, but we played like all the songs. Like we're playing the same set list for So What that we did then. We're just like switching it around. So I think this time we're opening with like Echo Chamber. But like yeah, for that show we played all the songs we're releasing this year. So
I mean, does it feel like y'all are just kind of like popping up on the scene? Because like I mean, like y'all have like I said, y'all have really like awesome production quality and like awesome songs, and
I feel like
they all come out in like a year and a half, right?
Yeah, like if you really want to put it, like we've really only have been like active or like anything since like January of 2021. So I think now we're like turning a few heads, getting these cool opportunities and like all that. So I don't know if popping off is the word yet, but like yeah, we're definitely. I feel like we're turning some heads now.
All right,
which is nice.
in the right place for sure. And
Yeah.
I mean, and it's you kind of have like the right sound too for right now, because there's like it's kind of like that metalcore like thing going on. So it's like, and there it's like kind of I feel like a metalcore revival happening right now. So
Yeah, this dude, the metalcore scene's popping off real
Definitely.
good. And like
Yeah.
our sound, like I said, with our sound, like I think we have like a pretty like unique sound. Like I don't feel like we really like sound too much like
Yeah.
anything else, but like the way we kind of like always approached our
it
sound,
fits in, I guess.
yeah, like the way we always approached our sound was like, we're all like pretty like second wave like heavy dudes. Like my favorite bands are like As I Lay Dying, Killswitch Engage, and like All That Remains and like Atreyu. So like I feel like we like definitely like take a lot of that influence, but we add like a lot of like the more modern, like a lot of modern stylings into it. Cause like, we also like bands like Wage War and like Currents and like Polaris. So we kind of like, we kind of like take a lot of like older influence, but kind of like bring it into like 2022, I feel. So I think that's what people like dig about us the most, because like people are like, oh, y'all sound like like something like Killswitch Engage, but y'all like also don't sound like that at the same time. And I was like, oh, that's a fucking massive compliment.
I always dig
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
Yeah, I always dig it when people wear their influences on their sleeve, but it's kind
Yeah.
of like, well, this is my perception and my perspective on like that sound and what I want to bring to it.
Yeah, that's exactly what Sense is.
Yeah, nice. So, you got the cool shows, you got the, all the like great history and influences and all that stuff, and you got like, your eyes on the future. Like, what is like plans that you guys wish to do? Like, do you want to work on like just dropping singles or work on a full album? Are there producers you want to work with? That kind of future perception stuff,
So for right now, so what we did last summer, like in June, we actually went in to go record a full length, but we felt like all the songs that we recorded were like just so like polarly like opposite of each other. I was like, this isn't gonna like work for a full length. So we're literally like dropping all of those as like singles like throughout the year. And just kind of like building up. But actually, like in December, we started like the early processes of a full length, and I feel like those songs are coming together like pretty well.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like we've definitely like found a sound that works for a collection of songs, rather than like, mostly Misery. Then like, we drop fucking Echo Chamber next, which is like typically in like deathcore territory, and then like then like Sincerity, which is like pretty much like an octane core song.
Yeah.
So like I feel like we're definitely not like winging anything. We definitely think about the future and like like we definitely only want to keep like going up. We don't want to like stay in one place.
Yeah.
That was kind of the goal with the singles too, because we feel like every single is like a step up from the last one, even though they were written at the same time. We kind of like spent a little bit of time like thinking like, okay, what single sounds like the step up from the last? So like that's kind of a thing too. We always want to get bigger. We always want to like try to get bigger like opportunities. We definitely think about the future. But yeah, so just singles this year. We're working on a full length right now. Knowing us, we take fucking forever. We're like we are meticulous as shit.
Hey, I mean, y'all dropped 3 singles in like a year and a half. That's a lot of bands can't even pull that off. So like, you're not. I wouldn't say you're taking that.
We're not. But also Sincerity. We wrote Sincerity and we wrote the instrumental and like got the instrumental done in like June of 2020, and we finished it in September of 2020. So like that song's been done for a minute. Echo Chamber, we recorded actually later. We recorded and wrote Echo Chamber in like November of 2020. But mostly Misery was done in like March of 2020.
Yeah.
So like we like definitely went back in, like tweaked until we were like happy with them. But I feel like we were at the same time back then we were like still learning how to like write songs. Like so but now we're like getting shit done like a lot quicker, and we're like a lot more happier with like how everything's sounding. But yeah, also I think the show we have in July that's coming up, I think it's all but confirmed. I think we're playing like with like Dispositions and like another band. I hope I don't. I hope I don't get in trouble for anything for saying that.
You're in Dallas, in the Dallas area, or?
Yeah, Dallas. It's gonna be at like, I think it'll be. I forgot what venue it was, but like that's pretty much like all but confirmed right now. But also like the way we're approaching shows is because I kind of had this problem with other bands where like I feel like we played like way too fucking much, like 2 shows a month or like 1 show a month, and I'm like, now we just want to play like every like 2 or 3 months and just kind of, because I feel like whenever like we wait like in between shows, I feel like the demand is a lot better and like we sell more tickets that way. So like for our first show, like I said, like I think we sold like 40 fucking tickets, like 40 or like 50 for our first show. And like, all the other bands sold theirs too. Our friends in like Beyond Apathy, they sold like fucking 50. And like all the other bands like sold like 20 or like 30. So like I said, we had like almost like 200 people in like the Rail Club for our first show, and like demand was good. It's like, okay, we kind of like know what we're doing now, like with that. Right. But like yeah, every 2 or 3 months we'll do a show. I'm definitely hoping that with how good our ticket sales are going for this festival, I hope we get on the like more like 3rd string shows, like playing like opening for like bigger tour packages and stuff. That's kind of the goal after this. What else? But yeah, singles every 2 months too, pretty much.
All right. I mean, I love the like playing like less show strategy, honestly. Yeah. I mean, that way you don't get labeled as just like a local band.
Exactly.
You kind of get a mystique about you.
Exactly, and also like whenever you play like a show like every month or like more than one time a month, you're selling your tickets to the same people.
They're not gonna wanna,
yeah, and you're not really bringing like more people in, like I think like now like there's like half of the people that we sold tickets to like weren't at like the first show, so like we've kind of like, in a way, I know it's a festival, so like people want to go for like other bands, but like I feel like we kind of like doubled our like our market, if you will, like sales and like stuff. And I hope that like because we're like a pretty like interactive band, we like talking to people. Like for example, like whenever I'm out selling tickets, like dude, a guy bought like 2 like 3-day passes. I fucking paid for lunch for him at like Buffalo Wild Wings. Like,
oh, I mean,
we like hung out.
Hey, Buffalo Wild Wings kind of expensive too. Like wing prices are, but I mean, that's a great deal for sure.
Yeah, like that. So I always like talking to people that give my band the fucking time of day, because it means the world to me. But
Absolutely. I mean, I'm glad we could give you a little time too. So
yeah, it means the fucking world, man. So like, yeah, the hope with the festival is that, you know, more people like find out and like start coming to our shows, like start coming like to our shows, and then like our local shows will get bigger from there.
exactly. And like you don't get burned out if you do it like every couple
Yeah,
months.
dude,
you know?
I would get so burnt out and just like tired of like playing a show like every fucking month and like trying to like sell when, you know, you have like people going,
Mhm.
oh well, I went to a show last month for you. I can't like
Yeah,
go.
exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of sorry. That's kind of our like goal. Like that's kind of our roadmap.
Is there any touring in the future, you think, or
We want to do like some with it. We want to do like maybe like a 1 week or a 2 week run in the next year, but like nothing even in like the planning stages or anything right now. If we do one, it'll be like sometime like next year, like beginning of next year
right.
or something. But yeah, the goal is just kind of just growing our presence around here, and then like also like social media and stuff.
And I mean, I guess you're gonna be getting your face out there in front of a bunch. I mean, obviously, so what's gonna be probably mostly Texas people, but there's gonna be people coming from all over the country and even the world. So
Yeah, there's like I think like people from like I think like 20
there's Emer's dropping stats every
Yeah.
now and then, and
Yeah, he said like, yeah, some fucking like a few people like bought tickets and they're from like the Bahamas, and I was like, oh, what the fuck?
hey, you can go tour the Bahamas, right?
That's sick. I would like to go.
You get a big following there, right?
All right.
I mean,
I know those countries are always like begging for like a show. So
yeah, I mean, I guess it's just kind of weird because you gotta like get like a visa basically because you're working there. But I mean, the internet's so weird, like how things work these days. Like the weird followings you'll get. Like we had because I don't know if you know who Jordan Blake is.
yeah,
Yeah, he was the original singer of A Skylight Drive, and we interviewed him a couple times, and
ASD.
like, yeah, exactly. It's now like we had this big following in the Philippines because they were all in A Skylight Drive or something, and I guess we tagged like because like they had to do weird things with their social media because of Jag, I guess.
Yeah,
but like,
their fans pay attention, dude. Like you got to remember, like that's kind of like, I mean, we just signed with, I'm not signed, but partnered with Ghost Killer Entertainment, and something like that wasn't getting news coverage.
Should announced it earlier.
Yeah, that wasn't getting news coverage. Like big scene pages, they're gonna focus on their Machine Gun Kellys and their, you know, new My Chemical Romance drops, and it was just like, when you do something at a grassroots level, it doesn't matter how long you're in the industry, but DIY bands just like yourselves, I'm sure you guys know that the power of the word of mouth is usually what carries you. And when you don't have a label or
the word of the internet
yeah, but if you don't have anybody like in your corner, whether it be like a small podcast, big podcast, or just like some little writer who blogs about it, it's like, you know, where are people supposed to get their information? So I feel like when we covered that A Skylight Drive stuff, it kind of like gave these people somewhere to go, and it happened to be us, and it was kind of a right place, right time. And it just worked out that we had already had an interview with Jordan Blake, and then we got a second one, and it only led to more random ass traffic from like Ireland and Belgium and
exactly. It's just random people from all over, just like
want to know. They want information. People want you know, since Masada, there's somebody out there like, damn, I wish there was some information on what's going on with Sense Masada.
Man, when are they coming to Ireland?
Yeah. When are they coming to Belgium?
Exactly.
Start a GoFundMe and be like, hey, you want us to go tour the world? Here's like a $5,000 GoFundMe.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, help these people. They want to come to Brussels.
I'd love to fucking tour Europe. That's like my fucking.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would too.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we like to ask people, like, you know, give you like the power of the booker and just be like, hey, like if you could go on a tour anywhere with anyone, Like, set up your own little package, get like 2-3 bands. Who would you go on tour with around the world?
You go first.
Man, that's a hard one.
Yeah. Free reign. Let
Shoot.
your imagination soar. Don't worry about realism.
Honestly, one of my favorite bands ever is Periphery. So I would love to go on a tour with Periphery. And
Hell yeah.
Villa Maya on there too. Periphery and Villa Maya.
There you go.
That is
I would
awesome tour.
I would go see that around the world.
Yeah, for sure.
Around the world.
Every show, Ryan's following you around the world, like Carmen Sandiego.
I'll be a roadie, bro. I've carried a box before.
He looks like a roadie.
You could get weed from like setting up a festival.
I'll take that. For me, well, I think it's already I think like some of it's already happening in Europe. So like, but it's in Europe. But like, I feel like my like dream tour package would be like, it would be like Parkway Drive, While She Sleeps, Wage War, and then like Us. I think.
Hell yeah!
All right.
Or like August Burns Red, As I Lay Dying, Unearth, and Us. Like, definitely Killswitch Engage though. Like a Killswitch Engage tour would be.
So are you for Killswitch Engage? I have to ask because they've been brought up a couple of times. Are you more like Howard or
I'm a Howard. Yeah, I'm a Howard guy.
Oh yeah, I mean he's saying Dio's that Dio cover, like Rise the Tiger.
Yeah.
That shit dope. I if a band can get me into like, because Dio, like, of course, Black Sabbath, all that, like that's a little out of my wheelhouse. Like I grew up listening to like all that shit, but if somebody can kind of connect me to that older music but kind of modernize it, like in the mid 2000s, obviously that was like 2004 2003, but they actually, like, if I hear that song, it doesn't matter which version, I'm just like, yeah, that Killswitch Engage version made this song just dope as fuck.
Yeah. The music video is funny as shit too.
Oh yeah. They just fun with it, and which I always think people should do with their covers. If you're gonna cover something, have fun with it. Like if
absolutely. Especially something like not necessarily ridiculous, but is like kind of so iconic as like Dio and Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Like you gotta like.
If you're gonna
it is a silly song about fantasy and whatnot.
Ride the tiger. You could see it. It's just like, okay.
I think the original music video, I think knew it was silly too. So
I think people just realize like having a sense of humor and not taking like music serious, no matter how you cut it. Like you can try to write something, like most people take it seriously, and like
art is serious. Yeah.
It's like math. It's very like a very serious subject, and when people can have fun with it, it's always a joy to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that's kind of like what we did for like the Sincerity video that we did. We did it ourselves, and like we literally didn't have a plan. We just kind of like, we're gonna film ourselves doing a bunch of bullshit and like just splice it together. So we had like us like, again, like we had like a clip of me like crowd killing our frontman's like girlfriend. Again, like and like we had like a clip of like all of us like pissing on a fire hydrant.
Very metal.
Fucking like just this bullshit like that. And also if you like go look at our Twitter and like, or even my fucking like personal Twitter, like it's just me bullshitting on there. Like one day I think like I made a tweet on there and I didn't expect it to do anything. I was like, because like, everyone's like, oh, these metal bands just can't let the sun exist. And I was like, we're gonna write a song about having sex with the sun. And it got like 55 likes and like 20 retweets or some shit.
I remember that actually. That was going around.
That was.
No, I remember that tweet that you retweeted. That like there was a lot of funny ones for sure.
I'm always on some shit on there.
Sun or
right.
Sun or G. Sun or G.
But yeah, like, we definitely like we definitely have a sense of humor about shit. We're not like
We don't take things way too seriously like a lot of other bands around in the scene do.
Yeah.
We have like serious songs. I don't think we'll ever write like a fucking joke song or anything. We're not like Blink-182, but like, you know, we have a sense of humor.
I would say
That's
the
good.
like the dudes from I think like, you know, we've had Dr. Acula. One band I wish that kind of like dipped in comedy but like still kept it like fucking brutal as fuck was Dead to Fall. Like the had some of the members of like Seven Angels, Seven Plagues, and like they're like they split off to make Dead to Fall and like Misery Signals.
Oh
But
shit.
like yeah. So Dead to Fall was more of like the dudes from like, you know, that group that were just kind of like, I have a sense of humor and I'm gonna write a song about like deathcore songs just being really stupid and writing about brutal shit that nobody's ever gonna do. And now I need to put a breakdown. I can't use these lyrics because I already got a song about a shark, like shit like that. Like I love when people can just kind of like write a song and it just kind of makes fun of like the art of writing songs and how ridiculous it can be sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, like everyone, I think knows when lyrics are like too not necessarily serious, but like too like what's the word I'm
Brutal?
looking for? No, not brutal. Well, I mean, not brutal. It's like the opposite. Where like it's like too like saccharine or too like, you know what I mean? Like
too like it's like too like you feel like you have to like read too much into it. Like you feel like
I mean, I guess serious. It's but
Are
you know,
you
like when
are you making the claim that it like for like sacred? Because you know, I'm not a college educated person. That's a lot of syllables you're throwing at me, boss. I'm just no. What I'm saying is like, are you speaking on songs being like too self serious and like
yeah, exactly, too self serious. Yeah, like, and I mean, sometimes it works out, like, but like sometimes it's like this is very goofy what you're singing about, even though I know you're not trying to be goofy.
Yeah, like I feel like we're pretty like on the nose about shit. We try not to be
exactly.
like I try not to be super cryptic. Like I kind of like just want people to hear what I'm singing and be like, oh, I know what that guy's talking about. This guy's sad as shit.
But I mean, I think you gotta like be able to be like, yeah, I'm sad as shit, but like I don't the fact that I'm sad, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of silly how sad, not necessarily silly, but like you got to be like kind of like lighthearted about it at the same time.
Yeah.
No one just wants to be like depressed. You got to be like,
I think like that like Die For You song by Bring Me is like a super like good example. Like they have like some like really like creative lyrics. I think like what I'll hold your heart with a hemorrhage or like some shit. And I'm like, oh, that's like that's fucking that's like emo. That's the most emo shit I've ever heard in my life.
Exactly. Yeah.
I dig it. I want more emo shit. Give me some more emo.
Me too, dude.
Well, it's the revival, Ryan. That's what all this is. It's the time.
It's the time. All the bands are like listening to like shit from like 2004 again. Like, you know, that was really good. Let's do that again.
They're listening to this shit from 2004 and they're converging on our city with all that shit from 2004, and they're probably gonna be people dropping like new music and stuff there.
Be like, motherfuckers out here listening to fucking Dear Diary and My Teen Angst Has a Body Count again. And they're like,
exactly.
Yeah, that's done. Be like, yeah, that's a pretty good album. We're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Yet another episode we referenced the golden
all the time.
I can't tell you how many times like I'll see Travis like post online like we're so close to getting a gold record for that song, and it's kind of crazy. That song was listened to by like everybody, but it still doesn't have like gold record.
Oh, I know. I think I listen to it once a week to this day.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Emily?
What?
Are you talking about the song Emily, or are you talking about like the album?
The album itself.
I mean, I probably don't listen to Emily that much, but like like Ride the Wings of Pestilence and
Note to Self, Secrets Don't Make Friends.
Note to Self, I listen to that stuff all the time.
My favorite song off that album is featuring Some of Your Favorite Words, which is kind of just a song about writing a song. You know, it's just like kind of like writer's block being written down, which I have always liked. And it sang like a Taking Back Sunday song where it's like, dueling vocalists, like just kind of like riding over each other and stuff.
And I guess from First to Last did that kind of like they're not going to be super serious. Like obviously it's super emo, but it's also like not. So it's not like super serious. It's not like
sardonic,
Star Wars Episode 3 like dialogue. It's like it's like you can have fun with it and still kind of get that across.
And they have a very dry wit. I'm a big fan.
Exactly.
Of people just being like very snide and sarcastic and like condescending in music, and it's like, damn, is that why I'm condescending? I keep listening to condescending people. It explains so much, and you just look at the lyrics of your favorite songs, and you're like, wow, I am emo as fuck.
Emo snarky, right?
Yeah, I'm a snarky bitch. I think we all should like hold on to some snark though. You got to be funny. You got to like it's not too serious because it's like life sucks. Yeah, there's a lot of bullshit going on in the world, man. Let's have a sense of humor.
Yeah, exactly. But also it doesn't suck that much because you're going to be playing with a bunch of awesome bands in 10 days, right? Yeah. So who are you looking forward to seeing or technically playing with at So What?
Oh, go first.
Probably Wage War.
All right.
And I don't know. Or like Trippie Redd, because he's playing.
Oh, dude.
It's crazy, like to think about that. We're playing the same festival as a multi-millionaire rapper guy.
I still look. I was like, I remember like hearing like 2 Chainz in like middle school, and like whenever I was like, shit. So like seeing that, like, so yeah, I'm playing like a festival with that fucking guy, dude. I'm like, what the fuck? I think the one I'm like most excited, like the ones I'm most excited for, are like probably like, do you just want us to say like the day we're playing or like the entire festival?
Just whoever. I mean, I can't necessarily keep up with
So I think in general, definitely Wage War. I think that's like a band that we all in the band like really like.
And you got a Wage War flag behind you, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We got the flag at it was a 2018 Warped Tour.
Right on. Was that the last one, or
that was the last tour? That was the last Warped Tour.
Because there was like they did like off shows, I guess they just never didn't do the whole tour.
Yeah, it was
not the same thing.
25th anniversary thing. I went to the California one, but what was that? I think Wage War is like one I'm like really fucking excited about. I Prevail.
All right.
And then for all the other days, like definitely The Ghost Inside, Knocked Loose. For day one, Lorna Shore. That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty
I will say what most people don't give, like, I feel like Lorna Shore deserves a lot of credit because like people will pat like Machine Gun Kelly, or they'll pat My Chemical Romance, or they'll pat any number of bands on the back for like, oh, you're keeping the scene alive, bro. Like what Lorna Shore does for like super heavy like music with 4 vocalists, harsh vocalists, like they get attention, and it's attention that only will benefit the scene because it's like people don't freak out over vocals like that anymore,
Yeah, and also like Lorna Shore, like I think whenever they released it To the Hellfire, it got like in like the top 10 of like the 50 trending songs on like Spotify, which is big because
they're like up there with like Metallica and shit, like in the hard rock.
Metallica, that was like fucking like Cardi B and shit. They were like
they like in our scene they're superseding legends, and in the mainstream they're like keeping pace with dudes that got like super major label like backing. So it's just like good for fucking you, Lorna Shore.
Yeah, it's like didn't Knock Loose or play like Coachella this year or something like that, or like I might have been Turnstile.
Lorna Shore's playing like Lollapalooza.
Yeah, it's like they're playing. They're getting these huge festivals now.
Yeah, Lollapalooza is mentioned on The Simpsons like 20 years ago. So it's like this shit's been around for a while. It's a big deal.
Yeah, and also like I feel like in my opinion, I don't think a deathcore band has done this much for like the extreme genre since like Suicide Silence.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Like I think Lorna Shore has already surpassed what they did for Denver.
Yeah. With that foundation laid upon, like for people who aren't like, if you think Lollapalooza is just like a funny word, like I mentioned The Simpsons, like on that episode of The Simpsons, like Smashing Pumpkins and like Peter Frampton, like all these big artists are on that episode of The Simpsons, something that's been on for like 34 years. So Lollapalooza's been around for a while. That's a big deal.
Yeah. I think
Perry Farrell, man.
I think the band you were talking about that played Coachella, I think like Turnstile.
I think it was Turnstile. Yeah. I was like,
Turnstile that played it. Yeah.
I mean, I could see Knock Loose getting on Coachella these days just because they feel like they have one of those bands every year now.
They had Code Orange on it too.
They did, yeah, they did.
I want a Smashing Pumpkins, Sonic Youth, and fucking Lorna Shore tour now, just to keep that Simpson episode alive.
That's just gonna be Lollapalooza, Ryan.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I mean, those tours are kind of already happening. Like, isn't like Bring Me the Horizon, Knock Loose, and like Grandson like doing a tour in the fall now?
Yeah, or Bring Me the Horizon and Ed Sheeran.
We just had we had Dropout Kings on the show, and they're going on tour with like Little Xan and fucking Saving Vice. So it's like trap metal and metalcore. It's just like it's good to see all the cross promotional like crossbreeding and all this like music festival.
It's really fun. It like it keeps things really fresh, I think, when you go to shows.
I feel like that's like something we're like super all about too. Like I'm like, well, I mean, I it's cool to play with metalcore bands, but like what if we play with like this band's on the festival, me and Hunter here are a huge fan. Like what if we potentially play like a show with like Pennyboard or something?
Oh yeah, Pennyboard is awesome.
So fucking like, but like like that we're all about like playing with like different genres and like even like throwing like kind of some of it in like the music, like kind of like just pulling that inspiration and not being like, just super like keeping ourselves. We definitely like, like in our next song, we're dropping.
You're kind of breaking up,
like, so fucking whole ass like rap verse.
Yeah.
You kind of cut out there. If you want to repeat that real quick.
Oh yeah, like for our next song, like our next song, Living Fiction, that we're dropping in July. We were supposed to be dropping it in like June, but then we got offered the festival, and then we realized like, hey, all our money's gonna have to like go into this for right now, and I got something a little bit more important going on. But like Living Fiction, the next song we're dropping, it has straight up rapping in it.
Nice.
Like just like it's not like it sounds like an As I Lay Dying song, but
there's rapping in an As I Lay Dying song.
I mean,
I'm glad
that's awesome, man.
Because I feel like music does definitely cycle, and that's been a topic of discussion lately. I feel in the previous couple episodes, it's just like we're talking about all these bands that are touring together that aren't exactly the same genre, and they're kind of brand like mainstream's actually starting to fuck around with like heavy extreme music again. And like being 34 and old and as shit as I am, I remember like Family Values tour, just like Cypress Hill, like just appearing on like a fucking like metal show, like rappers like Wu-Tang appearing on Limp Bizkit tracks and shit like that. Like it used to be the norm that like rap and metal and rock were all one part of each other, and it's like,
and it was one day just kind of.
Yeah, it just we all went our own little circles, our own little Spotify playlists. We all forgot that, like, hey, music's music core.
Yeah. I mean, and I also think like it's cool that you got rap on. You have a rap on your next song, which is like that works out really well right now. But say like 10 years ago, who knows how that would have been received.
Like we probably will get shit for it, but like also like we don't like we try new things, but we aren't obviously going to release a song with like something in it if it doesn't work. So like if rapping didn't work in the song, like I was kind of freaked out because I thought like our vocal like Dylan would have done it like on a different song, but he did it on the song I least expected. So I was like, okay, I'll see what you're doing. And he sent the verse to me. I was like, this is fucking wild. This is like sick. Like it.
I want to hear it. Send it to me now.
I'll send you after the show for sure.
Yeah, I'm down to hear it too, man.
I'll send it to y'all.
I appreciate it.
We'll send it to y'all after we're done like recording, and I want to get y'all's actual like reaction.
Yeah, we
Right
won't
on,
share.
yeah.
We don't share shit with nobody, so you don't have to worry.
Oh yeah,
He's like,
it's gonna
please,
be a very
leak
big
it.
band test an EP before they dropped it, and we didn't tell a soul.
I mean, we're not really like, obviously, don't go posting it on like your social media.
Oh
like,
yeah, we're not gonna do that.
We're like, if you want to send it to your friends and shit, that's cool. Like, it's like, dude, before we even dropped our first single, Mostly Misery, like, my dad wanted to hear it. My dad fucking loved the song, and he's just sending it to all his friends. And like, I guess one of his friends sent it to their daughter that was like a sophomore in high school at the time, and then she started showing all her friends at school.
That's how it used to be. Like I remember being in high school and people would just be like, "Hey, bro, did you hear this new demo that was on this person's MySpace page? Like, bro, it's on my MP3 player on my PSP. Don't worry, I got you."
Y'all had like fucking like smart punk and like shit like that back in the day.
Yeah,
Ryan was bringing floppy disks full with like unheard music to school, right?
Bro, like it was the job to go over the weekend, and like every like buddy that was a music savvy kid would be like, "Oh, we got to hit up LimeWire this weekend. This album comes out. You download these songs, you download that song, then we can Bluetooth them to get to trade songs, and we just like fill up our playlist like that." It was just like, I look back at it now, I'm like, God damn, that's frustrating. Like, I would lose my mind if I had to be trading songs to make my playlists and shit.
I can't imagine like living in a time where like, you know, you had to worry about your computer potentially fucking melting because you want to download fucking Becoming the Bull by Trey.
No. I remember that song. That was like the song where I was like, no, don't do it, Trey. Stop.
I love that album.
That's Lead Sails, right?
Yeah, I love that album.
There's a like me. I'm from Southern California.
Oh yeah,
so you. The Lip Gloss and Black. That's literally I remember what a demo version of that sounds like, because it was just like it was on a CD with a marker, and it's just like, oh, I bought this at their show. They're a local band, and it's just like, oh, that's cool. Like, yeah, OC is not that far from Inland Empire. So I my first show was Oblige, who was like hardcore, like deathcore, like back in like 2004, 2005. So like around that time, yeah, Atreyu was still metalcore, like they're like, you know, the traditional definition. So yeah, the album with like X's and O's, like for me, I still enjoyed that. I thought it was a nice blend of like metalcore and a little bit of a mainstream sound. I think Becoming the Bull was like, for what some like when Avenged Sevenfold dropped like
City of Evil.
Yeah, where everyone's just like, oh, this isn't sounding the Seventh Trumpet or Unholy Confession. Yeah. So it's just like, I was a kid, obviously, at the time. I'm like 17, 18. So obviously we have stupid thoughts. Like, you know, I used to like not like I set my friends on fire because I'm an idiot, you know, because kids are like, oh, that's not, I don't like Crank That, you know, like some bullshit, whatever it was. And then you listen to it and you're like, wow, I was a fucking moron. This slaps.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
I feel like a lot of people did that with like Attack like a few years ago.
Yes. My friends all hated Attack because their music, I mean, I always liked them, but my friends were like, no, you're not allowed to like them because they suck live and their music has auto-tune.
The songs are really catchy.
Yeah, they are.
Music's music.
Exactly.
Yeah, Johnny Frank is a genius, man.
I will say I'm a huge Attack fan. I'm not an Austin Carlisle fan, but I am a huge Attack fan.
Ryan was feuding with them online, so I'm glad he's come around.
I've always just had an issue. I don't like certain people, and like it's not like you can look it up. Go ahead, look it up, and I could see I have a good reason not to like that guy.
No, I'm not talking about Austin Carlisle. I'm talking about how you're feuding with just Attack.
Yeah, it's feuding with the current lineup. Like it wasn't even a feud. Like I made a meme and they were like, "Why are you so mad?" And I was just like, "I just want breakdowns, bro." I just want crabcore because Kawaii Cowboy was not crabcore, and like
But
literally,
they've
we were
always
all,
done shit like that. Like,
yeah. And it's like I like being teased as much as the next guy, but it's just like all I wanted was a breakdown. It's like,
but
where's
then
my
like a month later, they released fucking Hero Bombshell. So like,
yeah? So it's like we got what we wanted, but who likes waiting? Who likes sitting there with a chapped ass and listening to Kawaii Cowboy? Like you're all expecting a
Well,
breakdown.
Ryan, you don't. You like to make memes and go after them.
Hey, it worked out. It worked out in my favor. I mean,
It
I don't
did.
know. I don't think I think the only thing is I didn't endear myself to Bill Murray, who's probably the most wholesome, kind-hearted man on the planet. So I think teasing Attack may have just made Bill Murray not very receptive towards us because we tag
Yeah,
him we tag him constantly, and
we
we
really
just love
do.
you, Bill.
y'all should try to get those fucking guys on the show. Man, that would be fun.
We have been
Who,
3
Attack or Bill Murray?
both.
Both. Have a
I've
reunion.
I've asked several times.
Oh,
I
you
think
know,
Bill
Attack
Murray.
and Bill Murray are playing the same day as you, and they're both playing that day too. So who knows what's
Oh
up with
yeah,
that?
that was another. Wait, you had Bill Murray on before?
No,
we
we've not
won't.
had Bill Murray on.
We wish. We keep asking.
We always and like he has
Little-
his Facebook groups and like he'll comment on them every now and then. And I'm always just like, come on, demo team, and like other people will ask whatever. And I don't know.
If I see,
I mean,
him
he's
at
a
the
busy
show,
man. He's been on tour all year so far.
yeah.
So.
I mean,
If I run into him, I'll be like, "Someday Came Suddenly is like one of my most favorite albums ever." By the way, go on this podcast.
I mean, if I see him, I might just bow down. I might just do the "We're not worthy. We're not worthy." Honestly,
we're not worthy.
we're not worthy.
But
Yeah, me and Ryan are Wayne's World. In case you haven't realized.
he's Wayne.
What?
You're Wayne. I'm Garth.
I think we switch off. Just depends on the day.
Warth and Gain.
Yeah, sure.
But was there anything else you guys wanted to cover? I know we have another interview in like another hour. I'm not trying to rush y'all or anything. It's just I do need to eat breakfast and shit like that. Nothing. We're done. We're finished here.
Nothing to plug.
You got nothing to plug. You got nothing like to surprise us with, or maybe like.
Did y'all? I mean, can y'all get more tickets? Y'all already sold out the ones you got allotted, but
we can get more tickets like until like we can get more tickets and sell more until the 25th.
All right, go get tickets from them.
Yeah, get tickets from.
I mean,
70. We only. I will lose my mind if one more fucking person asks if we have day 2 or day 3 tickets. But like, so we only have day 1 tickets, and we also have the tickets for all 3 days. The day 1 tickets are $75, and then the 3-day ones are like $200. Which if you go online and look at the prices compared to those, they're really fucking cheap.
Oh yeah, they really are. Like I think they're less than half.
Yeah.
Possibly avoid future confusion and people asking you that. If somebody were to want a day 2 or day 3 ticket, they would probably have to
for day 2. We can, or yeah, you can plug the people you want actually.
So day 2,
day
2, Dispositions is playing day 2, so they have day 2 tickets, and Forget Conformity is playing day 3, and they'll have day 3 tickets.
All right, and we might be hitting up Forget Conformity soon because I got them on Insta. So
yeah. I think
anybody, if this episode releases before you get your tickets, like please be sure to hit up those fans because since Masada, they got day 1. Like, what do you want?
Absolutely.
Even if you're not in the Dallas area or even in the state, I'll overnight ship them like on my own dime. So just make sure you have them.
Also, I'm going to plug our social media. Follow us on Instagram at Since Masada, Texas.
It's
TX.
Don't type in Texas.
And then our Twitter is I think it's
just Since Masada.
It's all
Since
capital. Masada, all capitals though.
I don't think it'll matter, but like it's just Since Masada. Hold on, here I'll actually check real quick.
We don't even know our own social media.
I'm fucking dumb.
Here, I'll follow y'all right now. I don't think I have y'all on Twitter.
It was sick. Yeah, it's just since Masada on Twitter.
And then Facebook is just since Masada.
Oh yeah. So before, usually when we let people go, we like to ask, what have you been listening to lately? And if you guys got to check your Spotify's, look at your stats or whatever, maybe look at your old MP3 player or CD player. I don't know, but
Your old floppy disk.
or if you want to just shout out more homies, like you can use this time to,
Yeah,
wink, wink, nudge.
Yeah, we actually I really fuck with like a lot of like the music our friends have been releasing. I think if y'all know who Saints Can Lie is, I know Jake
Nah.
has another band called Nothing for You, and they released an EP, and it's like really fucking good. It's super catchy. It's super. I think that's a really good album. I know Aesop and Daedric are like pretty consistently releasing. I think Daedric, they have a new song out. Hold on, let me see what it's called again. I think it's they have a new song out called Dawnbreaker. It's like super sick. If you like fuck like Spirit Box or like North Lane or anything like that, that band's sick. Aesop released a song called Promethean. I think that's super cool. But like in general, like what I've been listening to, I'm actually looking through right now. I've been listening to that new My Kim song a lot. I've been listening to ever since it came out. Really, I've been listening to Manic by Wage War a lot. A lot of like While She Sleeps, especially the Face to Face, the new song they just dropped. I think that's super good. I was listening whenever you got here. I was listening to Unearth in the shower. So like Parkway Drive. I've been listening to Reverence a lot. It's actually probably my favorite Parkway album now. Eternal Blue by Spirit Box.
Gotta have that on rotation.
It's been like a pretty like nice blend of metalcore, like in general.
I've been listening to Lower Definition a lot lately. Periphery, like always. Volumes. I love Volumes.
Oh my
too.
god, that fucking new record.
And that's really about it right now. I get like,
all right.
I'm one of those people that gets hooked on one band for a long time, and I'll switch up.
I think you listen. If you want to know one thing about me too, I don't really listen to like playlists. I listen to like albums.
That's what I do.
Yeah, I'll listen.
Same, honestly. Yeah,
I'll listen to front to back. Like that's how I listen. I don't really. There's one playlist that we got on, and like the guy was like a pretty like good curator, and there's like a lot of great bands on there. I think it's like one of the guys from like Sunspear. They're from like California. If y'all know that band, they're super good. But Sunspear, they like a buddy that made a playlist for his like Twitch channel, and like a lot of those songs were super good. And they're all like super like smaller bands too. So yeah, that band's good too, by the way, Sunspear. But yeah, I think that's all pretty much lately. Oh yeah, Pennyboard as well.
Pennyboard's awesome.
Yeah.
That song, what's I'll look it up real quick, but whatever her most listened to song is actually, or their most listened to song is actually like a bop for sure. Emerald Green.
Yeah, they're man, that's such a good
I mean, I was living in Austin. I grew up in Dallas, but like, I was living in Austin. I moved back here mainly just because like to do this, and like the music scene here is so just solid for our type of music compared to Austin. So
I feel like
there's a lot of cool bands.
Yeah, I also feel like in a weird way, COVID kind of was a saving grace for it in a weird way, because I remember like before COVID, no one was coming out to fucking shows anymore. Like it was really fucking hard to sell tickets, but also the band I was in was kind of dog shit. So. But yeah, I feel like in a weird way it's helped, because like every time I go to local shows, they're all like super packed in like these old like tiny rooms now. And like, you know, like we don't have an issue like selling tickets. People want to come out to shows again, which is super cool. So in a weird way, and also a lot of newer bands like us, we pretty much like started within the pandemic. Like we pretty much like found it and like started writing the music throughout the pandemic. So in a weird way, I feel like it was a saving. Yeah,
It was a savior and a curse at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great time to write for sure. It's just, I mean, I think, I mean, that's when we started this, like in the middle of right at the beginning of the pandemic. I think it's amazing time well spent if you were out there doing creative stuff while you could.
Exactly. So I feel like that was like a super like beneficial thing in regard
Exactly.
to like a local scene.
I mean, obviously it was terrible for the world and people,
Yeah.
but I think a lot of people needed a reset. And I think like, especially creatively, I think a lot of people were able to get it and kind of rework their whole thing. So
Yeah.
Well,
I'm with it.
anything else? Or what'd you say, Ryan?
I said I'm with it. I've enjoyed this episode. I think it's really awesome. I'm really proud of y'all that you've been hustling and grinding and got yourself this opportunity. It being your second show.
Yeah.
Don't get nervous because tension, that stuff will like seep through on your set. Just have fun.
You're making them nervous, Ryan.
Pretend everybody.
Dude, I literally the other day because our buddy our producer, he's playing with a band called The News Can Wait on the festival, and like he's kind of more accustomed to like the shit. So I literally told him like, I need you to come to like the Choctaw Stadium at like fucking 7 a.m. with me to like figure everything out. I was like, I'm like, me and him are gonna be like the only ones close to Dallas. Like these guys are still gonna be like over in like Sherman or like McKinney. Like in the morning, I was like, I need to get there at 7, like figure out everything. I need to figure out where to put our merch. I need to like figure out where we're loading our shit in. And like, cause if I go there by myself, I will fucking have a stroke. Die.
Oh, I mean,
So
I feel like that's very relatable, even outside of music. It's just like doing something like that you're not unprepared for, but like something like this, like high, like pressure, and like having to do it by yourself, like that would be.
Yeah, I was like, Clay, I need your fucking help. I will fucking die. I will
But
make
like,
fucking idiot.
on the bright side, I mean, like after this, like I bet you your local shows are just gonna be like easy as pie.
Yeah, like I was about to say, like
rip the Band-Aid off, right?
And I was about to say, if we like sold the most tickets I've ever sold in like any band ever for this at like the fucking price point that they're at, like even still being like $75 or like $200, like selling it, all of them, I think playing these shows is going to be compared to that a lot more easier.
Yeah.
But
$10 is a lot different.
And you got that in your back pocket now, like for like any big show too. So
yeah. Like I'm sure I hope Third String looks at us and was like, oh, these guys are gonna have no problem selling like $20 tickets.
Hey, hopefully,
I hope that's what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be cool. I mean, shout out to Zemer for putting all this on. Yeah.
Dude, that I feel like that dude genuinely like gives a fuck about what he's doing, which is refreshing because I know like a lot of like, you know, promoters and like booking like people like through at DFW that kind of like I don't feel like give as much of a fuck, like in a way. And I feel like him being at his magnitude, putting on this bigger fest, like putting as many local acts as he has put on the bill, I think it genuinely like shows his character and how much he gives a fuck about what he's doing.
And I think it's very cool that he's like, there's enough room, we can make room, basically. Has been his whole attitude about it, which is like, I think just in general, that's a great attitude to have, is you can have as many.
And also everyone at Third String has been like super cool to us so far.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, they don't like, you know, we don't feel like we're like getting like disrespected or anything, which, you know, like I was not a worry, but like I hear like people like talk shit about Third String all the time. But now I've realized, I was like, oh, all these people that talk shit about working with Third String, they just can't sell their fucking tickets. Like literally, that's what it is. Like we had like an old bassist, like our first bassist that we tried having in the band. He's like, well, I don't work with Third String anymore because the promoter hustled us for our ticket money. I'm like, yeah, that's what they're supposed to fucking do. They're the promoter. You're selling tickets to their show. They want your fucking ticket money. He's like, well, I don't work with them anymore because of that. And I'm like, you're fucking dumb. Like other people,
unaware of how the music scene works. But
yeah, exactly. I'm like, yeah, what kind of, you don't just fucking get on shows and just fucking play them. Like, you have to fucking work for it. And like other people, like, oh, well, they expected us to sell 20 tickets for $20 a piece. And I'm like, dude, that's fucking nothing. It's like nothing.
Most people tend to forget that music is a hustle.
Yeah, exactly. And no.
It's not what you can do, it's what you can do for other people. Because you can play the greatest fucking licks and blast beats in the world, but if you can't sell a fucking ticket, you can't sell a fucking ticket. It don't matter how good you are.
And then, like, you have like other people like making excuses for why they, oh, well, I don't know people. I'm like, dude, I don't really know that fucking many people either. I still fucking, I just go on Instagram and I
go
just
find where they hang out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I met you at like a Third String show, and I was like, I saw you hustling tickets. So I was like, well, I might as well. I mean, I see him all the time trying to sell tickets. Might as well bring them on, right?
Yeah, I'm always fucking out there. Like me and him just went to even though I feel like the demographic is a very different from from what like So What even is, but me and him just went to go see like Dying Fetus and Chelsea Grin, and we were like handing out flyers and shit there, and like we were like talking to people about the festival, like in like the bar at like the Amplified place. And actually today, or not today, but sometime in the next week, I think like everyone at Third String wants like everyone like go like do like flyering and like putting up posters and shit throughout like Dallas. So I think we're gonna be going and doing that in the next week. I think we might get like a few more extra tickets. So if we happen to make sales, like
did y'all, I didn't see it, but did y'all do like a promo video for it?
We have not. We are supposed to.
There's some really cool ones actually out there.
Yeah.
But I mean, you already sold out your allotment, so I think you're probably good in that regard. Yeah, like you definitely got it down. So
like I was about to say, it's kind of, I feel like at this point we don't really need to do anything like drastic. Yeah. Like we haven't even done like we haven't had to do like a giveaway or anything, or like ask if we could do like a giveaway or anything like that. So like, I think at this point we're like, okay, we're pretty good. Like we have a few more people that want extra tickets, so we'll go get them. But I think like we're still pushing it.
So for sure, yeah.
Like more
put in the work,
yeah.
Especially for something like this, where like Third String like definitely bring you back.
Yeah, that's kind of like I said, that's kind of the goal. We want to be by the end of the year. We want to be like playing places like like the Southside Ballroom, or like Trees, or like the Ridgely Theater, like pretty like regularly, and not just
exactly.
Like, I don't want to be playing like fucking Killer's Tacos for the rest of my life.
Do it.
I like playing Killer's Tacos, but like, I'm always thinking about the next step, like I said.
Oh, I feel you. I mean, Killer's Tacos is cool. I just went there, I guess a couple months ago to go see Pulses and what was the other one? Oh, I gotta find the bad name real quick.
Yeah. It's a super nice venue. It's super cool whenever which we could easily pack it out, but like, it's super cool whenever you like pack it out and like do that. But
absolutely. It's cool. I mean, it's just like a house they turned into a venue and restaurant.
Yeah, which I think is super cool, and like the food
makes it intimate.
I just wish they let the metal bands play on the outside stage more often.
Yeah.
Like it has to be like, I think whenever they do it, it's like it has to be like earlier in the day, like 4 p.m. or like 5 p.m.
We want to hide in the darkness.
Well, I mean, there's like apartments all around there too, so it's like probably echoes and stuff like that. But
we don't like the fucking metal that's made.
Yeah, and plus it's Denton, and Denton's a great town, but I guess it's not exactly like a metal town. It seems like
it's just super alternative, more.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. Some parts of Denton fucking scare me.
I don't like Denton. I don't like.
Some parts of Denton that it feels like the same thing as like you said, like in Dallas. Like I feel like some parts of Denton, like you're fine, but if you walk across the street, it's a whole different fucking sort of ordeal.
No, I mean, I like Denton. I've had good times when I've been.
No,
there
I like
for
it too.
sure.
I like the vibe of it. There's some like really good fucking food.
The vibe,
I always hit up like a little Italian place whenever I'm like playing shows there. Like there's like a little Italian place like right down the street from there. There's pretty good. I forgot what the pizza place was called, but there's like a cool like little pizza joint. That's my thing with like playing shows in like new areas. I always said whenever
new food.
Whenever I go out of town and like play shows, I make an effort to find the best fucking Italian joint in the area.
Right on, man.
Like pizza joint or just Italian joint in general. Like whenever I went on the tour of my band that I just left like a few months ago, in like Pueblo, like in like Colorado, like whenever we're in Pueblo, I went to this fucking place called I forgot what it was fucking called, but it had the best motherfucking chicken parmesan I've ever had in my life, and it was amazing.
Man,
yeah, that's kind of a goal of mine. I make whenever I go new.
Get the best Italian places. All right,
Yeah.
I might hit you up because honestly, I do need like I'm craving some Italian. But is there anything else you want to ask, Brian? Or
Me and this guy are going to be out running errands, so you should totally like meet up with us later.
Do it. No,
I would, but we have so much work to do this week. Like we did our first like in-person video on Sunday with, I don't know if you're familiar with Animal Jam.
We should do one of those next.
Oh yeah, I'm down for sure. Do you know who Animal Jam is? They're out of Denton area, Fort Worth.
I've heard the name.
They're gonna be on So What Day 2. But yeah, we did that interview in person, and I gotta edit that all together today. Plus, just
I got some stuff I can do. I gotta get some food and eat before this Jeremy Talley of the Blood interview. It should be an hour and a half. So no, I'm pretty good, man. I'm very satisfied with this interview. These are some go-getters. You got a good band here, Coach. This is a good get for you, man.
We'll appreciate it.
Tell them that.
Yeah, I'll definitely come chill with y'all though. So and I'm sure I'm gonna see y'all at plenty of third string stuff. Just honestly hit me up if y'all do anything or like if you're going to shows. I'll show up.
Playing shows, I'll definitely hit you. And also tell homie from the Blood that I love the record, The Flask.
Oh yeah,
right, man.
He's on every single record. He's the only OG original member of the Blood that's been there for every album. So I'm sure if you've never checked out,
tell him I really love that record.
Hell, I think everybody does. But if you want something cool that Jeremy Talley did that's not really like promoted as much, I recommend Coma Prevail. That's the band he did with Tyson Tyson of Scary Kids.
Oh shit.
Before he passed away. So that was the last thing that dude from Scary Kids did. And they Coma Prevail, after they did that, they did Cons, CONS, which is like they took the instrumentals they were working on with the dude before he passed away, and it's a really good project. Really highly recommend. If you've never listened to Cons or Coma Prevail, Arizona stays making that good ass post-hardcore mathcore shit.
That was super cool seeing Scary Kids scaring kids on Silent Night too. That was like
hell yeah.
Oh,
good.
Dude, yeah.
Who is the singer filling in?
That was with Donovan. That
was the guy from Held the Sun.
Yeah. Donovan's legit. I can't wait till we get him on.
That is so weird that like we got to see that one-off like Donovan set, honestly. That's so random.
When I saw Scary Kids, it was with Kurt Travis, and Kurt Travis, boy, that guy was on some steroids vocally. I'm just saying, man, that guy was going ham.
That's like the hardest you heard Kurt Travis in years.
Yeah, I've never heard Kurt Travis go harder than he did with Scary Kids. He went all out.
Of course, I did see him.
Was that the tour with Drugs?
Yeah,
with Drugs, yeah.
And fucking Dead American with the Cove Reaper.
Yeah, Cove Reaper. I met him too. He's supposed to come on this show, but
yeah, I talked with him too.
Whoa, that would be that would be fucking.
Yeah, I'm sure. I want the legendary Beetle Boy on the podcast.
Have me on that, please.
Yeah.
Well, if you're not busy in like an hour and a half, if you want to hop on with Jeremy Talley, because it's just me and Cash. Like, if you guys want to hop back on, like, it makes no difference. Because I'm pretty sure Jeremy only has so much time. So you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, for sure. Me and him actually, because we have to go like deliver some like tickets and shit. Like I have to go to the post office and like actually like
For
ship
sure.
some of them out.
Just
So
hit up Cash. If you guys finish your shit and we're still talking to him, like you can literally
just send me the link and tell me whenever it's like over or something.
Yeah,
Or,
if you guys,
All
if
right,
we have
absolutely.
time, if it works out, schedules permit, you could ask Jeremy a couple questions if you want, because he's the homie. It's actually like a big deal that we got him on, because the Bled, we've been asking them for about 3 years. Like 2020 is when we first asked for an interview, and they've been busy. Like they had Furnace Fest last year, and like 2020, nobody was doing shit. Everyone's like, I'm trying to figure out how to make money. Yeah, so this is a big deal. Like this is like, I feel like this is a very full circle, because there's only very few people that we've been bugging. Like Bill Murray, I think like he's never even
Yeah.
He's never
Bill
humored.
Murray, Tillian Pearson.
Yeah, Tillian Pearson would be another one of those that have
Tillian
said
Pearson's
that,
like no showed
who
3 times for us.
You know who I think y'all should try to get to? Try to get a Jesse Cash from Era.
Hey, it's a good idea.
All right,
him and JT.
Hell yeah.
But
I'm gonna go eat some food. I got about an hour and 12 minutes. It's been.
I'm gonna eat some food too.
I'm starving, man. I haven't eaten. I woke up and I came here.
I think I'm gonna get some Taco Cabana.
I'm gonna eat food at my house because I'm a poor person and I eat at home.
I think
Fair
I'm
enough.
gonna go get some shit while we're out too. Oh, another recommendation: Ryan Kirby.
Ryan Kirby, all right.
Hey, me and him like, oh yeah, I got to get Ryan Kirby on. I think me and him have some discussions on Twitter, so I might be able to. He's a good vocalist though.
Oh, dude, he's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, we discussed. I think that's how Jordan Blake shouted me out for being like a vocal coach, because Ryan Kirby and I were having some vocal differences, how we present our vocals. So, hey, I would love to have him on. Continue our conversation.
Different strokes for different folks, Ryan.
I understand. I wouldn't even say it was a bad conversation. It's just,
different
he's been doing
techniques.
it a long time. I've been doing it a long time. We just do it differently, and that's why we sound the way we do. I'm gonna get some food.
All right. Well, hey, this was a great interview. I'm so glad we got y'all on. And good luck, man. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all for sure. Hey, Ryan might be there too. Maybe pull his shit together.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Oh, yeah, I didn't get my shit
from me. One for me.
All right. Well, y'all have a good day and good luck with your errands.
Take care, man.
Thank you so much, man.
Appreciate you.
You've been listening to the Demo Team Podcast. Take care, people. I'm out.
All right.
Let me send you that song, by the way.
Oh, appreciate it.